Hello everyone, welcome back to Priyan Classes. I'm Prabhat Kumar once again with you. Uh, Last video I had uploaded for the arithmetic progression, and now today I'm coming on to geometric progression, and I hope you must be able to understand things. And let me tell you one more thing: arithmetic progression and geometric progression, these two topics are very much correlated. Not the same, but they are similar. Okay, so I will time and again I will be giving you how to find out most concepts are similar, or how these two concepts are similar and how they are related to each other. So instead of wasting time, uh, I'm just directly coming on to the topic. First of all, what is uh, geometric progression? In arithmetic progression, you have seen that each term in a sequence, each term we were getting by adding one term, by adding one fixed number, and that number was called the common difference. Because it was arithmetic progression, so we were adding the concepts. Okay, now since this is a geometric progression, so now we are multiplying by the number, by the same number. So suppose that my first term is a, okay, then the second term will be AR. Okay, that means I have multiplied A by R. Now again multiply this number by R, the same number, and then I will be getting AR square. Okay, similarly you just multiply by R and you will be getting AR cube, and so on. You will keep on getting the numbers. Okay, so now the thing is, what is this? In that case, in arithmetic progression, I told you there was a common difference between any two consecutive terms. Now in this case, I will say there is a common ratio between the two. So if the first term is A, there is a common ratio, that is just take any, that either you take AR over R or AR square over AR, means ratio of any two consecutive terms, and you will be getting it as R, and this R is called common ratio. Okay, this R is called the common ratio. Okay, now there is one thing: how will you find out a general term? The very important thing is how to find out a general term. General term, or what I say, that a given number R and R, and that this R I am representing by small r. So this is what general term. How will you find out? Just see, the first term is A. If I say the first term, that is A, and this is equal to what? I can write it as A multiplied by R raised to the power 0, or I can say A R raised to the power 1 minus 1. Similarly, the second term was AR, and this I can write as A R raised to the power 2 minus 1. The third term, that is equal to AR square. So this is, I can write AR raised to the power 3 minus 1. Okay, so when you generalize it, you will be getting the rth term as AR raised to the power small r minus 1. And if the number of terms is n, if it has got total number of terms to be n, then the nth term will be AR raised to the power n minus 1. Okay. Okay, so now as I told you, what is rth term, or let me write it a little bit below. I have told you that rth term as AR raised to the power R minus 1, but this was rth term from beginning. Okay, if you start from there, and I assume that the total number of terms are n, so my last term will be a r raised to the power n minus 1. Now what happens if you are given that find out the rth term from end? If I have to find out rth term from end, just recall what I have given in the video for arithmetic progression. The same concept was there also. What was rth term? Obviously, if I have to take r terms here, r number of terms, so obviously if this is the rth term, then up to this, how many terms are there? There are n minus r terms, okay, and this term is just next to this n minus r term. So this is what? This is actually n minus r plus 1th term from beginning, okay. And if this is so, then what this will be? A r raised to the power n minus r plus 1 and then minus 1, or I can say it is a r raised to the power n minus r. So when you have to find out rth term from the end, it is a r raised to the power n minus r. Now I will give you a very small example. I will keep on giving some small examples also, so that you can understand how to use the formulas in a better way. So this is the question: what will be rupees 500 amount to in 10 years, or after 10 years, if the rate of interest is 10% per annum and the interest is compounded annually? What do you mean by interest is being compounded? That means after each year, it is saying it is compounded annually, means after each year interest is calculated, okay. Initially, what was the principal amount was rupees 500. After 1 year, whatever is the interest will be calculated. It will be added to the principal amount, so that will be the amount after 1 year, and after 1 year then this amount will become the new principal for the second year, okay. Similarly, after end of second year, again interest will be calculated and the interest will be added. The new amount what you get, this will be acting as the principal for the third year, and so on it goes on. That means you are getting interest on interests also. So just directly taking the formula for simple interest will not be sufficient, because in this case you are getting interest on interest, okay. So how do we find out? See, this will become a geometric progression. How it becomes? See, for the first year, what happens? I have got P1 that is given to you, that is rupees 500, okay. What is rate of interest? That is given to you 10%. So what will be interest? Or let's calculate directly the amount. What will be the amount after 1 year? After 1 year, the amount will be principal plus principal into r into 1 divided by 100. That is 1 year only. So this becomes P multiplied by 1 plus r by 100, or 1 plus 10 by 100. Just write it as, take it as 1 plus r by 100. Okay. Now, for second year, as I told you, whatever is the amount, this will become the new principal. So for second year, your new principal is A1. Okay, principal is A1, then rate of interest is same. So now the amount after 2 years, that is A2, will be P2 plus P2 into R into 1 divided by 100, or I can say P2 multiplied by 1 plus R by 100. But what this P2 is? P2 is actually A1 and A1 is this. So I can write it as P 1 plus R by 100 multiplied by 1 plus R by 100. Or in other words, I can say P 1 plus R by 100 square. Okay, so what you see? Just the next amount that we got is, first amount was by multiplying this. So my first number is this one, A. Next number I just multiplied by this factor. If you go on finding out the, for after 3 years, after 4 years, you will see that on each step you are multiplying by the same factor. So this is the common ratio, and this complete is the first term. So after 10 years, what you will get? After 10 years, after 10 years, what you get? Your amount after 10 years will be equal to P 1 plus R by 100 power 10. Okay, so what this is now? You know principal. Principal is 500. This is 1 plus R is 10, 10 by 100 and power 10. Rest is your calculation work only. So I am leaving this as your exercise. Okay. Okay, now I am giving you some very specific tricks or very specific system how to calculate or how to select them. For example, suppose that you are given 3 terms, or 4 terms or 5 terms, whatever it is. What happens is, the way you select the terms, that will be helping you to make the question or make the solution or to make the calculation more easy. For example, suppose that if it is given that product of 3 numbers which are in GP is given to you, and there is some other condition given to you, and you have to find out the 2 numbers. Obviously, what you have to find out? You will, if you take first term as A, your second term will become AR and third term will become ARQ. Okay. So if it is given that product of these 3 are suppose that product is P, and there is another condition. So from first condition, what you will get? A into AR into AR square. Sorry. So this is equal to P, or AQ into RQ is equal to P, or A into R is equal to cube root of P. Now you see, this number you can find out, but you have not got this. From here you will be getting A is equal to cube root of P divided by R, and then you have to use the second equation and you have to go on solving the system of equation as you have been doing with the solving two linear equations of 2 variables. So the procedure may become a little bit long. Just to reduce this, now you see, if I use a trick, instead of using this, if my selection of terms is A over R and multiplied by R and then AR, again the ratio is same, but in this case it will be A, not R. So in this case, if I use the first, like as I said, the product of this A into AR is equal to P. In this case, R gets cancelled, A cube is equal to P, so A is equal to cube root of P, and this gives you directly value of one of the variables. This will give you the value of one of the variables, and now you just put this value in the second equation and you can easily find out what the second variable is. Okay, so this is the basic trick that you have to use. Now in this case, I will give you for arithmetic progression also and for geometric progression also. Suppose that you have been given 3 terms. Okay, so it's better in an AP. In AP also the similar thing can be taken. Obviously, if it is an in an arithmetic progression, you must be getting as sum of the 3 terms in AP. So it will be better that first term is A minus D, second term a, and third term as a plus d. Similarly in GP, as I have explained, the first term will be a minus r, second will be a, and third will be ar. See, I am going in a similar way in both cases. That is why I have told you in the beginning that arithmetic progression and geometric progression are very much similar. Same tricks are being used. If you are given 4 terms, okay, then you take first term as a minus 3d, okay, and second term as a minus d, third term as a plus d, and fourth term as a plus 3d, and here your common difference will be 2d. Instead of d, you take it as 2d, and this will help you. Similarly, here also I will take a over r cube, second term as a over r, third term as ar, and fourth term as ar cube. And here the common ratio is r square. Instead of r, I am taking the common ratio as r. Now just go on increasing the number of terms. If you keep on increasing the number of terms, just you see these two only will be reversed. For example, if you are given 5 terms, okay, what I will do, I will just take these 3 terms in the middle, a minus d, and then a plus d. Okay, then one term previous to this, that is a minus 2d, and one term after this, a plus 2d. Okay, similarly here also I will take first the middle term will be a, then this is a over r, and this is ar, then one term previous to this, that is a over r square, and one term next to this, that is ar square. Okay, so this will make your questions, or this will make your solution more and more easy. Okay, now just take one example for such type of question. Suppose that product of 3 numbers in a GP is 216. I am just giving you, if it is given that product of 3 numbers is 216, okay, and the second thing, this is the first condition, and second condition is the sum of products in pairs is 156. Find the numbers. Product of 3 numbers which are in GP. Okay, it is said that product of 3 numbers in geometric progression is 216. Now, as I told you, my selection will be, let the terms are a by r, a and ar. Okay, now what happens? First condition I will use, I will just say that product is, so a by r into a into ar, that is equal to 216. R and r gets cancelled, so a cube is 216, so I get a as 6. Okay, so this is what you got. Now I will use the second condition, and it will be very much easier for me. See how it becomes. What has happened? It is saying the product in pairs. Obviously, first product will be this, second product will be this, and third product will be this. So a by r into a plus a into ar and plus a by r into ar, that is equal to 156. Okay, so there I get a square by r plus a square r and plus a square. Got it? This is equal to 156. If I take a square as common and just use this, so what I get is a square 1 by r plus 1 is equal to 156. So what this will be? A square 1 plus r square plus r divided by r equal to 156. So a square into 1 plus, or I can write it as just rearrange it, r square plus r plus 1 is equal to 156 into r. Okay, but what is a? Instead of a, I can write it as, because a square is 6, so a square is 36. So r square plus r plus 1 is equal to 156 divided by 36. R. Okay, cancel out. What you get? 6, 6 2 is 12, and then 6 6 are. So now this is 3 and this is 13. So 3. So what I get? R square plus r plus 1 equal to 13 by 3r. Take 3 to this side once again. So 3r square plus 3r plus 3 is equal to 13. R. Make it there. So 3r square minus 10r plus 3 is equal to 0. Or I can say 3r minus 1 multiplied by r minus 3 is equal to 0. So I can say value of r as 1 by 3 or 3. Okay, value of r you get as 1 by 3 or 3. So using this, what will be my 3 numbers? What will be my 3 numbers? See, if I take r equal to 1 by 3, the middle number a is 6. The first number will be 6 divided by 1 by 3 or 6 multiplied by 3. So this will be 18, and the third number will be 6 divided by 3 or 2. If you take r is equal to 3, again your middle number will be 6. First number will be a by 3. So it will be 2. 6 by 2, and this will be 6 into 3 or 18. So in any case, you get the same set of numbers. So this is how to use the specific trick. Now I will show you how to find out sum of n terms of an GP, and at the same time, what will be the sum if the GP is continued to infinity in some specific case. Okay, so now let's proceed. Now what I have to find out is that sum of n terms. Just denote the sum as Sn and let it be a plus ar plus ar square plus up to ar raised to the power n minus 1. This will be the sum. Okay, now just take the condition. Okay, condition is that if r is equal to 1, if r is equal to 1, what will happen? Sn will be equal to a plus a into 1 plus a into 1 square and up to a into 1 raised to the power n minus 1. And just see, any difference it is making? No difference. So it is what? A plus a up to n times. Okay, so this will be, sum will be n multiplied by a. This is for the condition when r is equal to 1. Okay, now if r is less than minus 1, okay, just take greater than 1 or take another value also when it is less than 1. Okay, so in that case, less than minus 1. Now the second condition what I am taking is if r is not equal to 1, first thing, and the second thing is that and r is either less than minus 1 or r is greater than 1. Okay, in that case either r is less than minus 1 or r is 1, or I can say mod r is not equal to 1. Just see, I can say this also, modulus of r is not equal to 1. In that case, what will happen? My Sn is a plus ar plus ar square up to a r raised to the power n minus 1 and take it as equation 1. Okay. Multiply the thing, multiply all by r. What this will become? Let me write it also. Multiply both sides by r. So what you get? R multiplied by Sn equal to AR plus AR square plus AR cube and up to ARn, because 1 will be added. Okay. So now take it as equation 2. Now subtract equation 1 from equation 2. What you get? From left hand side I get 1 minus r Sn, okay, and on r minus 1 it is actually r minus 1 into Sn, and on right hand side you see what will happen. This AR will be cancelled out with this. AR square will be cancelled by this one. Similarly, all the middle terms will get cancelled and the remaining will be last term of equation 2 and first term of equation 1. Rest all will be cancelled. So what you get? A r raised to the power n minus a, or I can write it as a r raised to the power n minus 1. Okay. So now what will happen in this case? Sn will be equal to a r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. This is your formula. Okay. In some books there are two formulas given. What if r is greater than 1, then they use this one, and if r is less than minus 1, in that case they are giving the formula as a raised to the power 1 minus r raised to the power n divided by 1 minus r. But you just see, is it making any difference? It is not making, because just if you multiply by minus 1 both numerator and denominator, you will be getting this formula. So it is not making any difference whether you are writing this way or this way. So it's better to understand just one formula and try to solve your questions by using this one formula only. Now what to do? This is how to find out sum of n terms. Now the same formula will be applicable even in case of those one is lying between r is lying between 1 and minus 1 also. Then in that case also it will be. It is just only the condition that r should not be equal to 1. Now I will give one specific formula where sum is to be determined up to infinite terms. Means the product is going on, and what will be the sum? In that case, now again, if you see, if r is less than minus 1 or r is greater than 1, okay, if r is less than minus 1, then obviously your sum to infinity will be a plus ar square up to infinity, and the sum will be infinite or minus infinite, whatever the case is. Okay, it will be infinite or minus infinite. Better to write as infinite only. Okay, but what will happen if r is lying between minus 1 and 1? What will happen if r is lying between minus 1 and 1? In that case, you get, I will find out the sum, that is s infinity will be equal to a plus ar plus ar square plus ar cube up to infinity. Okay, this is what I can say. Okay, now how to find out? As you have seen, your formula I will use as a 1 minus if it was n. Okay, for example, first of all I will find out Sn is what? A 1 minus r raised to the power n divided by 1 minus r. I am writing this because I have seen that r is less than 1. So it will be better for me. Okay, now what happens is, if n is tending towards infinity, then r will be tending towards 0. Why? If n approaches infinite, then r approaches 0. Because why? Because you see, if just take one example, 0.1. Okay, keep on increasing the power, just multiply it by this. For example, 0.1 power 1 is 0.1, but if you multiply it 0.1 multiplied by taking power 2, 0.1 square, what this will be? 0.01. You see, the number has reduced. Okay, similarly, if you are taking, multiply once again by 0.1 and make it 0.1 cube, it will be 0.001. So if you keep on increasing, you will be increasing the number of zeros before 1, and that means the product is approaching the value 0. So if it is so, then S infinity will become a 1 minus 0 divided by 1 minus r, or I can say S infinity, sum to infinity is a over 1 minus r, but on the condition that r is lying between minus 1 and plus 1. Then only this is possible. Now I am going to take one practical problem that will help you how to use the formula and how to deal with the questions. So now you see, you have got a question that if S1, S2 and S3 respectively are sums of first n terms, 2n terms and 3n terms of a GP. Okay, so suppose that the GP is A, AR, AR square and so on. So sum of n terms is S1, sum of 2n terms is S2 and sum of 3n terms is S3. So what I will get is S1 is equal to A multiplied by r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Okay. Similarly, S2 will be equal to A r raised to the power 2n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. And similarly, S3 will be A r raised to the power 3n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Okay. So these are the three values. Now you have to prove this. How we can do this? Okay. Okay, let me try. I'll have to rub out this. What will be LHS? Your left hand side is S1, S3 minus S2. Okay. What is S1? S1 is A multiplied by r minus r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by 1 minus r, sorry, r minus 1 multiplied by A r raised to the power 3n minus 1 divided by r minus 1 and minus A r raised to the power 2n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Now you see, in these two, if I take out A and r minus 1 outside, what I get is A square multiplied by r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Okay. And inside, what I get is you see r raised to the power 3n minus 1 minus r raised to the power 2n minus 1. So 1 and 1 will be cancelled, and what I get is r raised to the power 3n minus r raised to the power 2n. Okay. So what happens? Again, r raised to the power 2n can be taken out. This is also square. R raised to the power 2n can be taken out, and then what will become is a square multiplied by r raised to the power 2n multiplied by r raised to the power n minus 1, and then remaining will be r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1 square. Okay, so what I get is a square r raised to the power 2n r raised to the power n minus 1 square divided by r minus 1 square. So this is your left hand side. Okay, now I will find out what is right hand side. Right hand side, what it is said? It is s2 minus s1 square. Use the same formula. What you get is s2 is what? A multiplied by r raised to the power 2n minus 1 divided by r minus 1 minus a, this is r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1, and this complete comes under square. So first of all, I will take out a and r minus 1. So I can write it as a square divided by r minus 1 square. Inside bracket, what you get is r raised to the power 2n minus r raised to the power n. Okay, and that is square because minus 1 and minus 1 will be cancelled out. Okay, so again I will take out r raised to the power n. So obviously it will be taken out as r raised to the power n, 2n. So a square into r raised to the power n I have taken, but it is already square, so it will become 2n, and inside it will become r raised to the power n minus 1 square divided by r minus 1 square. And now you see your left hand side is equal to right hand side. So your formula is proved. Okay, so this is how you can define, how you can use the formula. You can use the formula for geometric progression. You can find out, you can prove the equations, you can find out the numbers, all you can do. Okay, now there are some properties and some concepts which are left because the video is getting too long. So I think I should give rest to my video for today, and I will give you another video on the same topic for the remaining part of the chapter. So till then, I wish you keep practicing and keep understanding the concept, and along with that, I once again request all of you, if you have not subscribed my channel, if you have not liked my channel, just press the like button, press the bell icon also, so that you can get all the notifications about my future videos. So I wish you all the best. Till then, goodbye.